Taylor Swift, Anti-Hero. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You ought to be aware that some time ago, precisely the 16th of December 2020, I created a video about Taylor Swift and put her under the Tudor scope. I posed the question, a very performing narcissist. If you haven't watched that and you'd like to, I'd recommend that you perhaps pause this video now, go and watch that, and return, as there are, as they say, spoilers ahead. If you have watched that video, or you simply don't care, the fact is that I assessed that Taylor Swift is indeed a narcissist, and I explained in detail why that is. I also pointed out that she's fully aware of what she is, and revels in it. Indeed, I invited you to watch the video to blank space and see how she puts it out there quite clearly through the medium of her work, exceptional as it is, that she knows full well what she is, and she's generally laughing at people. There's no doubt that she's a talented individual, and you may not like her music, but ultimately she is very successful and popular. So much so, only recently, as The Guardian reported, Taylor Swift becomes first musician to claim entire top 10 on Billboard Hot 100. Taylor Swift scored a 10 out of 10 to become the first artist in history to claim the top 10 slots on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the United States, with tracks from her latest album, Midnights. 10 out of 10 of the Hot 100 on my 10th album. I am in shambles, the 32-year-old pop star tweeted. The new album came out on the 21st of October with both a 13-track standard release and a deluxe version with 7 bonus tracks. It has had one of the biggest album launches in nearly 7 years. Billboard also reported that Swift now ties with Barbra Streisand for the female artist with the most #1 albums. The #1 spot on the Billboard chart belongs to Anti-Hero, whose lyrics, "It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me," have quickly become a TikTok trend. The other top 10 songs include Lavender Haze, Maroon, Snow on the Beach, Midnight Rain, Bejeweled, and Question. Swift has set a number of new records with Midnights. It had the biggest first week of sales of any album this year, almost doubling the number of the previous title holder, Harry's House, the third solo album by Harry Styles. Midnights also had the highest first week streams of the year, 72.5 million, again beating Styles' figures of 53.9 million. On the day of its release, Midnights broke global Spotify records for the most streams of a single album in one day. Swift has also overtaken Madonna to set a new all-time UK chart record for the fastest succession of 9 UK #1 albums of any female artist. Although Madonna still has the record for the most UK #1 albums of any solo female artist with 12 overall. Swift is now second in that list, pushing Kylie Minogue into third. Impressive. Not only is it a prodigious body of work, she knows how to write a catchy song, she knows how to write a decent ballad, and has many friends, which has made her, many fans rather, this has made her both famous and wealthy. Nevertheless, she taps into what she is regularly, but her fans don't seem to realise this. All of that success there, and the responses will provide her, naturally, with a lot of fuel. Thought-fueled from the knowledge that she's dominating the charts in such a way, reading the accolades from critics and fans alike, and therefore it enables her, of course, access to the residual benefits of her continuing fame, the facade that's maintained, and, of course, money arising from all of these sales, streams, downloads, etc. So it's all good in the hood, as one might say, for her. But it gets even better. Metro reports that She picked up 4 awards at the MTV EMAs of 2022. You Belong With Me must have been what Taylor Swift thought as she carted off a haul of trophies at the MTV European Music Awards. The anti-hero singer 32, donning a net of metal and gems as a skirt, certainly had a good catch at last night's celeb-studded ceremony. Her 4 prizes included Best Pop, Best Video for All Too Well, and Best Artist, beating Adele, Beyoncé, and Harry Styles. All of that, of course, will provide her with more fuel, the adoration of those applauding and cheering her wins, the knowledge that she's beaten other performers, and therefore she continues to dominate in her field. Of course, one of the songs that I mentioned is called Anti-Hero, and naturally, this has come to many people's attention because of the reference to the phrase covert narcissism within it. As you know, I don't really like the term covert narcissist. It's preferable to describe the behaviours as covert rather than the category, but that's a debate I've had elsewhere in a separate video. What is interesting is that the lyrics and the video to this song, Anti-Hero, people have appeared to have interpreted it as the song is about self-loathing. It isn't. Now, of course, with music and lyrics, one of the attractions, of course, is that often the songwriter leaves it to the fans to interpret it how they wish. And that's one of the bonding factors between fans of an artist or a band and the band or the artist themselves, is that by allowing the fans to interpret in the way that they feel, it creates a stronger bond for them. Often, of course, the songwriters are quite mysterious about what's intended. Perhaps early on in their careers, as they want to explain themselves as artists, they give some definition and meaning, but later they perhaps a little more vague, sometimes even misleading. Take, for instance, Depeche Mode's excellent song Enjoy the Silence. Many people believe that it's a song about drugs. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms, meaning the injection of drugs into the veins. But again, it could be interpreted as a song simply about love and enjoying being in the moment of love without all of the other stuff that goes with it. Again, the interpretation is left to the listener. Naturally, if those fans wish to interpret Anti-Hero that way, that is their prerogative. But given that Taylor Swift is an aware narcissist, it bears examination to explain to you precisely what is actually being stated in this song. If you haven't listened to it, I'd encourage you to do so. The video is a decent watch also, and you can understand why people have thought that it's about self-loathing. However, it isn't. Overall, what it's about is this. She knows that people recognise that she is a problem. And she sees that very clearly indeed. She knows it. She sees it with a forensic precision. And she's telling you that she sees all of this, but you still won't get it. And she finds that hugely entertaining. Because, like any other greater, the self-awareness and knowledge and the ability to manipulate and puppet people is part of the joy of being that greater. To basically say, I know I am the problem. I know that I cause problems for other people. And I tell you this, and you still don't get it. That demonstrates real power over you all. So let's break down the lyrics to this song so that you can understand precisely why I'm telling you that this is what she's saying. Remember, as an aware narcissistic psychopath, I also have that understanding of where she is coming from, if you will. The song starts, I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. What she's explaining there is, it's not that I don't learn from my mistakes, but quite simply, I don't need to get any wiser. I'm wise enough because I know full well what I am. Midnights become my afternoons. Essentially, time is meaningless to her. When my depression works the graveyard shift, all of the people I've ghosted stand there in the room. Now, she's not talking about actual depression. What she's talking about is the reminders that we have, the reminders that sometimes occur with regard to what has happened. Some people would misinterpret this as conscience or remorse. It isn't. It is simply a reminder. And when she talks of all the people that I've ghosted stand there in the room, she's making reference to her own asylum of the grotesque. If you're unfamiliar with what that phrase means, I have a video about it, and I'd invite you to watch that. But in essence, what she's talking about is that there are the individuals that she has let go, and that they come back, in effect, to seek to haunt her. The song continues. I should not be left to my own devices. They come with prices and vices. I end up in crisis. What Taylor Swift is explaining here is letting me do what I want has a cost for all of you, but you don't actually realize. Then continues, I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day I'll watch as you're leaving, 'cause you've got tired of my scheming for the last time. This is where she recognizes that her behavior does cause a threat to other people, and that ultimately people do become tired of it. And that she recognizes that slight vulnerability that she has, as all narcissists have, to the issue of control. I say slight with regard to her because as a greater, her ability to assert control is immense. Her level of self-awareness and, of course, the maintenance of having a high threshold of her ignited fury. But she recognizes that her behavior is such that it can cause people to leave, and that is a threat to control. She determines it, of course, in dramatic terms in order to convey the meaning. She doesn't wake from dreaming or screaming. That isn't her style. But it sounds better to put it that way for all of those teenage girls to understand it. It moves on then to the chorus, which is particularly insightful. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. You'll notice in the video that there are clear nods to Alice in Wonderland. And here it appears that she's having a discussion with herself in terms of there's part of inside of her that is the problem that she loathes. She doesn't loathe it, but she recognizes that there is a part of her that is problematic, not to her, but to other people. And when she talks about at tea time everybody agrees, what she's referencing there is the Mad Hatter's Tea Party from Alice in Wonderland. In that, Alice is repeatedly criticised and made out to be the problem at the tea party. However, she in fact is the only sane attendee. And what Taylor Swift is saying is, you all label me as the problem, but actually I'm not. I'm the sanest one here because I know myself, I can see myself, and I know precisely why I do what I do, and you all don't. Thus, you remain all mired in madness, in a fog, and I have the clarity. But you all label me as the problem, akin to the way that Alice was labelled the problem at the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. The lyrics continue. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. Essentially, what she's saying there is, I have the ability to stare at my own brilliance through the blazing of the sun, but I don't look in the mirror because we don't do self-examination in that way. It must be exhausting always rooting for the anti-hero. She's not talking about herself, she's talking about the way that other people become exhausted by the behaviours. The next verse, sometimes I feel like everybody is a sexy baby and I'm a monster on the hill. This isn't a pity play, although you might think that it is, but as a greater she doesn't do them. What she's saying is, I don't fit in, but I don't care because I'm bigger than all of you. Too big to hang out, slowly lurching towards your favourite city. Basically, I have the power to crush and destroy, if I so choose. Pierced through the heart, but never killed. You can wound me, but you'll never defeat me. Did you hear my covert narcissism I disguise as altruism? Now, this causes me to wonder if she's happened to watch my video. And there's probably some force in the fact that she has or, of course, that other people have labelled her as a narcissist and perhaps have referred to her as a covert narcissist. As I say, I don't like that term because it's too wide. Covert behaviours are seen in everybody from lower mid-range, middle range A and B, upper mid-range, lower greater, middle greater, upper greater, and the ultra. And believe me, there are vast differences between those sub-schools. So either she has seen mention of narcissism made by other people, including me, or it's been said to her perhaps with regard to her own personal life. And of course, particularly the reference with regard to suggesting that altruism is dressed up is what is being done to disguise her covert narcissism. Here, she's simply getting back at her critics. And it's clear that she does observe what other people say about her. You may be familiar with an outfit on YouTube called Key of Awesome, who perform some excellent parodies. I don't think they carry on any longer, but they used to do them for all pop artists, and they did one for Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. And for instance, they observed, if you break my heart, you'll end up in a shitty song, referencing her propensity to always get back at boyfriends by writing songs about them, something I mentioned in my analysis of her. And also, they observe in the parody lyrics, I read every comment and message board. Swift Kicker said I wasn't as good as Lord. I'm going to find him and squish his testicles. Turn and cough, turn and cough. Referencing there, of course, the fact that she does scrutinise social media to see what's being said about her and that she needs to do something about it. Therefore, this suggests that she has paid attention to the allegations of narcissism against her, and therefore this line is getting back at those who have criticised her in such a way. She goes on, like some kind of congressman, making the parallel to politics, which of course is festooned with narcissists that give the appearance of pretending to care. Once again, I wake up screaming from dreaming. One day I'll watch as you're leaving and life will lose all its meaning. Referencing, of course, the threat to control that's posed by appliances departing. It's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. Next, I have this dream my daughter-in-law kills me for the money. This references the paranoia of the narcissist. She thinks I left them in the will. The family gathers round and reads it, and then someone screams out, she's laughing up at us from hell. If you watch the video, the song pauses there as well as it goes into a little skit almost of the family members turning up at her supposed funeral and the reading of the will. Of course, many narcissists envisage how relatives would react beyond their death as a consequence of that grandiosity and the need to assert control. Furthermore, writing about it in such a way of saying, oh, look, here are my imaginary children turning up at the reading of my will, and then a fight breaks out while I'm lurking in the coffin. What she's saying there is, me lurking in the coffin is the ability that I have to watch all of this going on. I know full well how you'll all behave once I'm dead, and I'm basically going to issue a fuck you because, like any greater, I will look to assert control over you from even beyond the grave. And this again demonstrates she knows full well what she is and the capacity that she has for that assertion of control. It then continues, it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me, hi, I'm the problem, it's me, hi, everybody agrees, everybody agrees. And then we get the chorus once again. It's certainly a catchy song and is understandable why so many people like it. And of course, many people identify with it because they want to recognise that they experience anxiety and self-loathing. And if Taylor Swift does, then isn't that great that she talks about it for little old me here in Minnesota or downtown Paris or wherever it might be, that the people listening feel a sense of identification. My life is difficult. I have anxieties. I loathe aspects of me. I'm too fat. I don't conform. I'm not clever enough. My teeth are wonky, whatever it might be. And Taylor Swift has these insecurities and self-loathing also. She hasn't. She basks in the knowledge that she is an international superstar, that she's a talented pop star that is adored by millions around the world, sets records and makes a lot of money. There is no insecurity, but what she does is she knows how to tap into yours. She knows how to tap into your insecurities for the purpose of asserting control over you through music, and she does this with considerable skill and expertise. She also, once again, utilizes music to say, I know what I am, but you won't even recognize this. I'm spelling it out for you, but you'll all go in the wrong direction in terms of understanding what this is about. This is a song where, once again, she demonstrates that she knows full well what she is, as she continues to assert control over those that listen to the song and watch the video. I'd be interested to learn of your observations about this song and my analysis in the comments. Please do like and share this video far and wide. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.